Hey guys, so we just had a strike time video and a blog showing us what the Young Avengers is going to be like, and you know it's a war defense team, so I got to sink my teeth into it, let you know my opinions, let you know my thoughts, show you what I think is going to be the outcome of this team, and I think you're going to be happy. I think this is actually a really good team for the game. We'll talk about it. Let's jump into it right away, actually. And the first things first, this team actually opens up a little bit of doors the way they made it. So for Young Avengers, we're going to have Echo, Squirrel Girl, America Chavez, Miss Marvel, and Kate Bishop. Love that they added Kate, loved her in the show. So, what doors is open? Well, Hawkeye's free. He's not going to be stuck on a team, so he gets to go over to Ravagers, which is what I like. And more importantly, Kate is tech, so she gets to go party it up in Doom 2.3 and be another plug-and-play character. She probably won't be the answer. Squirrel Girl gets some extra stats. She gets armor. She was already very low armor, so this really only puts her in the middle of the pack. Nothing crazy there. That 20% life, though, is pretty nuts. Her health was already high, and as you're going to see in this kit, it's going to get even higher. So, for her special, it does everything it used to do, except now in war defense, if she's above 90% life, she's going to get an energy. It's going to help her do her abilities more often. On war defense, she's going to clear negative effects before healing. So that means if there's a heal block, no. She's still going to get the heal. Everyone's going to get cleansed. So very, very strong ability. Her ultimate isn't so much different either. She's going to fill speed bar by 10% for every Young Avenger, which is definitely going to help them snowball. And her passive, this gets a little crazy. So when they drop below 75% life, 50% life, and 25% life, a bunch of things are happening. So 75% life, they get 2 deflex. 50% life, she gets 30% speed meter, and they all get defense up. Well, the person who drops gets defense up. When they drop below 25% life, she's going to apply 2 death proof. So it's going to be very hard to whittle this team down. And it's going to be questionable if you want to use AoE, because if you drop them all at the same time, she's going to get a bunch of speed meter, give them all these buffs, do a bunch of heals, and then you're going to be in trouble because you just buffed the enemy team and you got nowhere. She's going to gain drain and she's going to give drain. She gains life and she also gives life. 25% of everything to her team. So next we have Miss Marvel. Her stats, nothing crazy, nothing to worry about there. Her basic, she's going to gain some deflex. Cool. It's a nice little addition. If that happens on her ISO attack, that's going to be very interesting. Sorry, on her assist, that's going to be very interesting. We'll see that on MSFGG. For her special, she's actually going to gain taunt when she uses it now. She doesn't have to have a ally drop below a certain life. And the passive is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So everything she used to have, now she's going to clear taunt when she drops below 50% life, which is nice. She's not going to taunt herself to death. She gains armor and gives armor to her team, 25%, and an additional 25% in war defense. So kind of like T'Challa, where he gave life outside and an extra little bit inside. So that's 50% armor for her and her team. And another 25% life. So that puts us up to a total of 50% extra life for our Young Avengers here. And next we have America Chavez. Again, nothing crazy on the stats, nothing to worry about too much of. I know we're all measuring this up as like the new heroes for hire. We'll talk about that. I think we're safe. Her special does nothing crazy. If Kate Bishop's an ally, it'll always crit. That's cool. For her ultimate, a couple weird things here. On war defense, she's going to target the enemy with the lowest speed bar, and it's going to flip positive effects into negative effects. That's kind of cool, I guess. Lowest speed bar, maybe they'll have a speed up. She'll flip it to a slow, and then that enemy is in really hot water. It's going to take them a long time to get their turn back. And the passive, this is very interesting. So she gains life and she gives life. So that's 75% total extra HP for our Young Avengers. And on characters like Squirrel, who already had a lot of life, who's doing these crazy things at these intervals, that's very worrisome. That's a lot of life to get through. And on war defense, she's actually filling the speed bar of adjacent allies by 25% life. Notice she doesn't get it herself. She stops enemies from having any drain. And if she has 3 or more Young Avenger allies, which she will on this team, she reduces the enemy damage by 20%. So they're gaining 75% life on top of already their stat increases, and she reduces the enemy damage by 20%. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. For Kate Bishop, I don't want to get too much into the weeds here. Her basic, single target attack, random positive effects removed. On crit, it'll chain and clear an additional positive effects from the person chained to. On war defense, it applies taunt. I got to assume this also works with the attack/assist, so you're going to want her as a striker, as was shown in the video. If it's charged, 25% crit chance for this attack, and it can't be blocked or dodged. Also note, Kate Bishop has 200% accuracy, so she can't be blinded. Don't even bother trying. For special, this is what she opens up with. She attacks the primary adjacent targets, flips effects. So we're doing a lot of flips with this team, which is definitely better than just clearing them. If she's charged, she gets offense up for her entire team. If she's not charged, she gets 75% speed bar. I don't know what's worse, because this attack is only a 3 of 3. So she might get the speed bar and immediately use this attack again, which would be rough. And it can't be dodged. So next, her ultimate. This is pretty crazy too. Attack all enemies for 300% piercing damage. If charged, she's going to apply blind to the highest damaged enemy and 2 random negative effects. And then she's going to lose charge. But in war defense, she's not going to lose charge. She gets 100% extra focus. She's also going to apply speed up to Young Avengers for 2 turns, which is crazy. Can't be dodged or counterattacked. So she's doing a lot of work. And here her passive is where I think she's going to be the most dangerous. On spawn, she gives offense up to everybody. And on death of a Young Avenger, or when they drop below 50% life, so another one of those life thresholds, she's going to attack a random enemy for 200% piercing damage. And this character does appear to have pretty good damage based on the video. When she drops below 50% life, she gets evades. That's going to help her in the Doom raids, which is nice. She gains resistance, and she gives 25% resist to her team. On war defense, she's going to start charge. It only happens once, so it's not going to be that problem with Heroes for Hire, where every time you go in, they're getting their energy back kind of deal. So that's good. They have the foresight to fix that. And on turn, when she is charged, she's going to give ability energy to self and all Young Avengers. Is going to really feed their cooldowns, and then she's going to lose 1 charged. So next and last, we have Echo. Thankfully, her text is not as blocky. Basic attack is an attack, and it has extra crit chance. The special, which is what she opens with, is going to attack the primary target, chain to 2, extra crit chance. It applies evades to herself and her entire team. Again, crazy. This team gets so many buffs, it's insane. War defense is going to target the enemy who has the most damage, ignoring taunt. But it's kind of funny because you might have put taunt on them already, and it's going to attack them anyway. So a little awkward wording, it might confuse people there. But just know she's attacking the most injured enemy regardless of taunt. For her ultimate, it's a big damage, it chains, it applies slow. If it doesn't apply slow, it's going to do a turn meter rewind. So it's going to be weird on what you want. It's going to depend on who's the character is, what their turn meter is at, which one you would prefer to happen. Not that you'd have any control unless you can apply a immunity. But yeah, just thought I'd mention that, throw that out there. And her passive, another insane passive. So on spawn, she applies defense up. That's actually going to, I think, work in our benefit to her and her allies. When an enemy attacks the Young Avengers, she's going to attack them. So there's lots of retaliate. Between Kate, when they're dropping below 50 or dying, and her just retaliating, there's lots of damage coming out. While she doesn't have blind, she reduces the assist chance, so that's a shot at the Infinity Watch. And note that she has 150% accuracy. So like Kate, she's not as affected by blind. She can get blinded, so keep that in mind. And she's also gained slow. She's going to gain 10% damage for any skill characters they have. Again, that's kind of a shot at Infinity Watch. Now, I think it's only once, so she gains 10% damage if this character has any skill enemies. I don't think she's going to get 50% on a skill military team. We'll see in-game when it happens, but the way this is worded, I think she only gets it once. And she's going to gain 25% damage and give 25% damage. So this team is actually pretty crazy on paper. It's that 75% life, everything they get at these fight thresholds. I just want to throw this in here. Kate is faster than Echo. You can see Kate just went first, and both Kate and Echo are adjacent to America Chavez. So it's important to note that. And you can see they're beating up this Eternals team with Surfer, Doom, and Captain Sam. But you'll notice there was something a little fishy on that team, and it's funny that they would use that and not say our arena teams. Anyway, this is going to be Kate's speed with that America Chavez. This is going to be what we want to beat in order to beat this team. So at 113 base plus the 25, she's going to jump up to 141.25. So my initial counter thoughts are going to be the Eternals. So Kate's speed is going to be dropped by 11.3. I used her initial speed, not the 141. This is worst case scenario. It'll drop her to 129.95, and then Cersei's speed is going to be 125 plus 10% because of Loki, so that's 137.5. So she's going to go first. The reason we want her to go first and not Icarus. The reason we're not bringing Cable in, who would have the same effect, is because we don't want to drop everyone so low that Squirrel Girl does all her crazy stuff. We need a bunch of different counterattacks. What I'd like is for Cersei to go ahead and drop them a little low. She's probably not going to drop anyone to 25% life with all the defense ups and everything that are out there. And then Icarus is going to come in and do his thing. So that's going to be our 4 members. But now we got to talk what's going to be the actual problem here. Now the problem is going to come down to Squirrel Girl. And there's a reason I included Beast there. It's very similar to what Beast does with the Astonishing X-Men. So she's going to get 30% life whenever they drop. She's doing her crazy stuff at the different health intervals. And then she's going to be gaining speed, using her heals, hitting you with a bunch of ults so that the enemy team gets speed meter and gets to keep going. And that's a problem. She gives me 30% speed. So there is a quick fix in the game already. This might be a little controversial. It's going to be X23. Now, what about your X-Force? X-Force is dying, guys, and they don't work on war defense, so they're not the kind of offense team where you can just say, okay, you're retired to war defense, go do your thing there, cause people some headaches. No, they don't work on war defense. They don't get the speed that they need. X23, however, does get the speed that she needs. She's going to get 40% speed bar every time somebody drops below 50% life. Squirrel gets 30. That's going to make your X23 go first, and she's going to be able to do her devastating special. Now, if you look at what Squirrel does, first it's deflex, then it's defense up, and then it's death proofs. So those deflex are going to come in first. Cersei is not going to cause the deflex. Icarus might cause the deflex, and then your X23 is going to go in there, feed on that, possibly one-shot somebody, turn this into a quick 4v5. I think this is going to be her home, and I think this is going to be the counter. Yeah, and obviously then she's going to use her ultimate and do a bunch of crazy stuff. So is this team even worth building? Yeah. Young Avengers are still a very, very good defensive team. And if you think about it from this perspective, they're pulling Eternals. I think a lot of other teams are going to struggle. I don't think Infinity Watch is going to win. Whatever the new Supernatural team is, maybe they're releasing that as the immediate counter. I think that would be a little weird. But I think we have the counter. I think it's going to be Eternals, some kind of speed variation. May not be exactly what I just posted, but it'll be something like that. And pulling Eternals is a huge win. It's going to affect both the higher end war players and the lower end war players in beneficial ways, I think. So at the lower end, it's not Heroes for Hire 2.0. We have the solution. As they mentioned, if you check out Valley Flying's video, they didn't want it to be this crazy roadblock like Heroes for Hire, where he was talking about how they don't want defensive teams to be unfun. So yeah, at the lower end, you have the solution. It's not Heroes for Hire 2 where you're going to get stuck. People are going to quit the game and quit their alliances because they don't want to try war anymore. And at the higher end, we see a lot of Eternals on defense, actually. And basically what it is the strongest alliances have them on defense, and the weaker alliances like me, we have to use them on offense to mirror match to get the wins and get by. Well, if we have Young Avengers, and I think they're not going to require a crazy amount of investment. I think you're going to want a big Kate, a big Echo, and the rest you're just going to want to have the right T4s in, and I think they're going to function and pull that Eternals team. So that's going to help us compete better, so I think that's good. And of course, alliances like Legion, Panther Hulk, Mutiny, Baby Yoda, all the big guys, they're going to have these teams huge, and that's going to be fun for them to rack up some defensive wins. So, are they worth building? Yes, I think they're actually going to be good for the game, unlike Heroes for Hire were, which really sucked. I hated Heroes for Hire. But anyway, guys, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Is that extra life and everything Squirrel does at the different variations of life percentages and all the retaliations, is that just going to get your Eternals wrecked? Is X23 going to get destroyed by Kate Bishop before she even gets a turn? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyway, as always, stay happy, healthy, and have fun, and I'll check you guys next time. Peace.